Welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's your host who likes to post, the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switcher in the building.
And we are here to continue a discussion that we had in our previous episode that we did mention we were going to have Razy on our next episode. But we felt like this conversation just had to happen right now because the IWC is currently in a mixed bag.
Don't let him bullshit you. He got way ahead of himself. Don't worry, though. The interview is coming. He just jumped the gun and was all like, all right, it's coming in. No. We're getting there. We're almost there. But please, go ahead and bring us into the subject.
Why the fuck would you do that? Why the fuck would
we gotta be transparent. We can't. We can't lie to these.
Okay, but we are also admitting that yes, I put a foot in my mouth and said, "Hey, boom, next episode is this," and then we're not there. So I'm explaining why, and also making it more into character of like, man, we just had to have this conversation.
Damn. I mean, we do, and this probably might not be the last time we bring it up because it's a pretty interesting thing that you're wanting to talk about here. And I do believe because we have spoken with Ray.
We have spoken. Oh yeah.
And we also mentioned it to him as well, this particular topic, and he's seen it. He's also like, yes, that's a thing. But we might bring it up, you know what I'm saying?
Is not strong enough where we definitely got to, because his opinions I'm very curious about, and I feel like, you know, we definitely should have a ongoing question to ask interviewers, kind of similar to like Marcus. I can't remember his name, but he's the one guy that lifts a lot, and he does the "What's your Waffle House order?" And I find that really funny and making something up like that for us.
I don't think this would be that.
No. I'm just saying in general for future interviews. So like if we're interviewing somebody and then like, you know, just, all right, cool, we got to ask you the question. So that way the audience is a reoccurring question the audience can get behind.
Now, if I was going to ask if there's anything that I want to know and whatnot, would be not just your Mount Rushmore. What is your Mount Rushmore of animes? Or, if they don't do animes, cartoons in general. And if they don't do cartoons, then we don't interview them.
You can ask what's their 4 childhood favorite shows, maybe.
Cartoons, exactly.
I'm saying Disney, because Disney, you know what I'm saying, live shows is not cartoons, it's just the case.
Cartoons?
All right.
Or we ain't interviewing you.
What about games?
Sure. But you can really tell a lot about somebody when you talk about what cartoons they used to watch or what animes they're into. Honestly, what animes they're into almost can directly translate into their games. Or maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I could be just blowing smoke out of my ass here. But regardless, go ahead and give us this.
Okay.
Like, give us because you gave us a small taste.
Got you.
And I had things that I wanted to say, but because I knew there was other things that we specifically was going to talk about, I'm going to save it all for here.
Got you. Okay.
So go ahead, bring it to it.
So I've noticed a little bit of back and forth with the IWCP. That's not it. The IWC, excuse me. But about
to call them like the insane clown.
Yeah, that's what I was like, what?
The internet wrestling community.
The internet wrestling community basically has been back and forth with the fact that this recent WWE 2K26 is based on the Attitude Era, if not particularly the Monday Night War. And they're really mixed when it comes to this, because they feel like the Attitude Era has been done way too much, and there needs to now be an opportunity for the Ruthless Era when it comes to the PG era, the reality era. They want to have specific eras, but they really feel like the Ruthless Aggression era should get its shine too. Why don't we make that a game? And I was bringing up the argument that the fact that since they were saying, hey, the only people that care about the Attitude Era are the 40-year-olds. And I was like, well, that's kind of most of us is buying the fucking game. Sorry. Like, let's be real. Some of us have been buying the game every year for the last however many years you've been buying the game. You could have been buying it since the Warzone or Attitude or something of that nature, but you just been buying wrestling games every year, and it's a consistent for you. And a lot of those people in the Ruthless Era Aggression, not saying that you wouldn't, but we've been here from day one, right? And to say that the Ruthless Era is not it's not equivalent to the Attitude Era. And the only reason why I said that before is because everybody in that roster in the Attitude Era were all stars. Everybody was a star, right? You could book any match and it was still gonna be a good match because everybody had established characters, everybody had subplots that were just as interesting. Like, who cannot say, yes, the heavyweight title is gonna be the main thing you should focus on, but we really like this storyline that's going on for Mark Henry and Mae Young. Like, it's must-see TV. Everything about the Attitude Era was pop culture related. You didn't have to be a wrestling fan, but you knew about wrestling in some way or shape or form. We can still probably have that argument today with current wrestling, but it was something about the Attitude Era that it was, to me personally, the peak of wrestling overall. Like, yes, we have different peaks, but the Attitude Era was just the absolute boom. This is the highest the stratosphere is. And everything afterwards, it's like we're trying to match that energy, but sometimes those eras don't make sense to that. So that's why I say the Ruthless Era aggression, the Ruthless Era, I keep saying that, but the Ruthless Era is really the core 6 people that were the main people of that era to me. And I was saying Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Batista, a little bit of Orton, and of course Chris Benoit. But that's the thing that puts a nail in the tire. It's what pops the whole thing. Chris Benoit, you cannot do the Ruthless Aggression Era without him. You just can't. And it's very difficult to do that. So my question to you and our question to the audience: do you think the Ruthless Era deserves its own game? And could it motivate people to actually buy it?
Well, a couple of things. So let me first say, yes, it could have its own game. But no, I don't think it's not going to do the same kind of numbers. So people, it's real funny how there's this whole going back and forth about which era was the best era. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love to say that we're just so overstimulated with nostalgia, and that's why you think the Attitude Era was so good, kind of thing. And there could be some warrant for that. But what always gets me is the fact that those of us who believe the Attitude Era is as good as it is, we give our reasons. The people who often, at least the ones who I've heard the arguments for, they never give the argument of why this other era was better. All they do is say, no, the Attitude Era was not. They don't say, nah. The PG era was absolutely the best because John Cena and Katie Vick
Daniel
and
Bryan,
and all
stuff
the
like that. Team Hell No.
Stuff like that. And so, but instead they're just like, No, Attitude Era wasn't that good. Like, who cared about Val Venus, or the Mark Henry thing was stupid kind of thing. And I mean, like, yeah, The Rock was okay, but The Rock was overrated. Most people are often just like giving their reasons why I guess they themselves don't like the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
They're not giving a reason why the Attitude Era was not as good as another one. You know what I'm saying? And so, as far as the other thing that you mentioned, just lightly touching on everything here, I don't think, or I should say, I believe if you wanted to do the whole ruthless aggression edition of
2K.
2K whatever, insert year here, I feel it can be done without Chris Benoit. The only problem is there's a lot of stories that can't be told. I know
you can't do the Eddie moment at WrestleMania, which is that was the moment it came to.
Yes, that was a very
significant moment. Yeah,
somewhere in storage, I actually still have the magazine.
That's dope.
Which, funny enough, I mean, the magazine's mine because you gave it to me, but it's technically your magazine.
Shit. Oh shit! I know which one. Oh my god, yo, WWE.com magazines were so dope to get posters from them back in the day.
Oh yeah, those were.
Did we get that in the Ruthless era?
Well, technically, yeah.
No, I don't believe.
What are you talking?
I'm not playing.
Oh, wait. What do you mean? I'm literally talking about one of the biggest things that happened in the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah,
and the magazine. Anyway, but like it would suck to do that though, because it's like Kurt Angle talks about it all the time, how some of his best matches and some of the best things that he's done included and was with or against Chris Benoit.
It's the submission match. The match that made the submission match a credible match, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody else really did it after, except was it Bailey? No, they just didn't. Actually, do you remember anybody else that did submission match like that?
I mean, there's been some here and there. Like, I think Charlotte's had one before.
I gotta check that out, actually.
But no, you're not wrong on that piece. But it's like, I believe it can be done, but they're never going to do it because
the fans will not like the fact he's not in it.
No one's going to buy it like that.
Oh, okay, you meant that. Okay.
I don't think the fans will give, one way or another if Chris Benoit's in it. Or I should say, the fact that he's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
If they put him in it, that would be crazy to do. Because unlike Superfly Snuka, Chris Benoit has been proven that he did it. So,
and that is a conversation that I feel like it can get really messy, because, no matter what, he did what he did. And some people feel cross about it. Some people feel like, well, don't throw away, memories of that caliber because of something he did. It's a lot of like a man who dedicated himself to the business. Like, all he knew was wrestling. All he did was wrestling, right? He didn't get a job at a theater or nothing as a kid. No, he went straight into that. So the thing he put a 100% in, he has nothing to show for it. His legacy is nothing, unless for the wrestling fans who keep it in their mind. But in historical, like, it's not even existent.
Unfortunately, no, and it is unfortunate it has to be that particular way.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, at the end of the day, if you can, I would say, if you put that to the side.
Yeah.
Real ones know and real ones understand.
Yeah.
Like, what he was and how good he was. It's
Yeah.
just unfortunate that he tarnished it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Now, of course, whether of what it was that ultimately caused it, caused the tarnishment, that's neither here nor there. It's just the fact that incident happened, and that's how it's going to be. Just like with Hulk Hogan. There are people out there who don't think Hulk Hogan was racist. Then there's people out there who swears up and down he was the most racist motherfucker on this god green earth. The unfortunate bit is the fact that he did what he did. He did not do anything to show otherwise. Therefore, his legacy has been tarnished to certain people because of that particular bit. And he has to take that to the grave with him. Just like how Chris Benoit has to take his situation to the grave with him.
And it's unfortunate he had to do that and never made up for that. I'm talking about Hogan now. In that situation, because you brought that up, because he had a chance to fix it. And he did. And so for somebody like Chris Benoit, who is technically a one and done situation, it is what it is. But to get back into the main thing about making a ruthless aggression era mode for the game. I mean, it depends on when we would consider the end of the era.
The end of the era would be when they finally went full speed into PG. Now, of course, I don't have the exact time frame on that, but like there is a distinct difference between when the PG era started and then when the ruthless era was going on.
Would you say? Because I'm thinking in my brain, it was around the time. Because like, would we consider PG era the Super Cena era?
That could be another word for it.
Yeah, I could have sworn that was the Super Cena era in a sense of what PG was, because he became the ultimate thing that led the PG era. So
according to WWE, or I'm sorry, according to our Google overlords here, it says that the PG era, it says generally spans from July 2008.
I was gonna say 2013. Yeah,
to roughly 2013-14.
Yeah, no.
That is the time span of the PG era.
Yep.
Now, let's see here.
So that means Ruthless would have started 2001 or 2? It was like 2001 or 2.
Somewhere in that area.
Because the Attitude Era was half of the 90s, leading into 21. Did you just look up WrestleMania instead of the?
So what I was looking up here was specifically the WrestleMania, the last WrestleMania before the PG era is considered to have started, and this kind of checks. So that WrestleMania,
go for it.
Funny enough, is actually one of my favorite WrestleManias because I was there at this one.
This was the Ric Flair one, right?
Yes, when Ric Flair retired.
That was a good pay-per-view, though, I thought.
Oh no, it was a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, that's a good pay-per-view.
This was
didn't Cena just win the belt then?
I think so.
That would make sense why that would begin the PG era, because the minute Cena gets the title. That's hilarious. You should just look up the card.
No, I'm looking at that here for the actual WrestleMania.
Yeah, you look at
However, I'm trying to think because I want to say there was a point, because I think John Cena, if I'm not mistaken, he wins the title there,
and then that again he ends up becoming,
he beats Shawn Michaels. But that's like,
oh, he beat Shawn Michaels there.
This was April, so let me see here. I'm gonna actually type in. I'm gonna say WWE 2000.
It was 2000. 2002 would have been the last year almost.
Okay, give me a second here, because there's something specific I'm trying to see if I can find.
Is it a moment in time?
There is a particular moment in time that I was trying to figure out.
Could you refresh my memory? That way I can maybe help you.
Oh, okay. Night of Champions was in June. Let's see here. Key moment. Let's see here. Uh pretty much I just put June 2008 WWE. And so I guess during that time was when Night of Champions. Night of Champions was on the 29th of June. Let's see here. Key moments include CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight title from Triple H. And then it says Triple H moves to SmackDown and Jericho feuds with Shawn Michaels.
Oh, you mean like key storylines? Maybe look that up. Key storylines.
Hold on, let me see here. Well, specifically Night of Champions. Triple H beats John Cena for the WWE title. Edge beat Batista for the heavyweight title. ECW match, Mark Henry beats Big Show and Kane, becoming the new ECW champion.
This was all considered the Ruthless era?
This was the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh.
Okay, because like I said, like it said June, July was kind of like the start of the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah, that's when ECW's.
Yeah.
I know this. No.
Or at least this is the beginning of the PG era.
Yeah. But still, like before that means ECW at one point was still a brand and still actively going. There.
Yeah, ECW was still actively going.
I mean, we probably we still get Do-Rag Vince. We still get the legend that is Do-Rag Vince. What up, G? What's up, Holmes?
John Cena versus Umaga in a street fight. I remember that match.
See, yeah, that was before because the PG era is again when Super Cena started, right? So this era of Cena was still good. It was after that.
So I actually think I think for me it's literally the next year, which is to like 2009 era, because I remember myself still being cool with John Cena during this time. But it was when, and I do, if I'm not, see, I'm gonna have to pick it up again and look, because like what did it for me, the birth of Super Cena was when he ripped his bicep and he was gone.
Oh, that Royal Rumble. Yeah, that godlike, bro.
Which I don't remember which Royal Rumble it is. I'm gonna have to look it up.
I think it was literally that next year, because like it was when you started seeing Super Cena stuff happen. Man, ripped his bicep, wasn't supposed to be in nothing, not even in Mania. And that man's training was so out of this world, he was able to fix that. And that was crazy. It was like the fact that his music hit at that Rumble, it wasn't supposed to happen. So I genuinely feel like even backstage, not backstage, but like the guys in the ring were just shocked. Almost kind of like they were trying to do don't tell anybody who number 30 is, and it's a secret person, but that person's gonna win. That person's going over.
Oh, I had it backwards.
What?
Oh no, this was definitely the. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, so no, John Cena actually he ripped his bicep. Goes trying to remember all this shit. He ripped his bicep in 2007, October 2007. So it was during 2008 when he had that Royal Rumble and he came back and did all this stuff. Which now that I'm remembering the picture that I just saw of when he was at WrestleMania, when he had the orange,
the brand,
royalty, respect.
Wasn't that the jersey he wore at that Royal Rumble too?
Correct. Yeah. But I do believe, I'm pretty certain it's probably the absolute next year when John Cena became like ridiculously undeniable, because I remember there was like because back then because like shortly after that is when he started wearing like the real bright colored shirts and all the other shit.
Yeah.
But the thing that I want to get at and talk on when it comes to the
Ruthless Aggression era.
Well, just all eras versus the Attitude Era.
Go ahead, lay it on them.
The issue, I think that the main issue is the fact that when you look at the Ruthless Aggression era and then you look at the PG era, right? It's like it's really hard to sell anything or anyone on anybody on those two eras, because for all intents and purposes, a lot of people that was in one era, the ruthless aggression era, are kind of the same people who are running roughshod in the PG era, with just a couple of attitude era people being plucked out of it, kind of thing. And it's like the attitude era has so many memorable moments because they had lots and lots of entertaining stories that were going on, as where these other eras, they do have some good moments. There's a lot of great moments that happened within the ruthless aggression era. There's decent moments that happened in the PG era, but it's like those stories don't hold as strong as what the Attitude Era stories do.
Literally, like I said before, everything the Attitude Era was producing was must-see TV.
Yes, and that is also a big piece of it all. Must see TV. The Ruthless Aggression Era was not a lot of must see TV. There are some great must see moments that did take place in this Ruthless Aggression era, but not every episode of SmackDown and Raw and then a little bit of ECW was remotely must see. Maybe out of 2-3 different segments, you know what I'm saying? Like during that time, from what I remember when watching it, it's like, yes, we watched the whole show, but if you had your favorite wrestlers, you was waiting for your favorite wrestler segment.
That's it, yeah.
And that was the main thing you paid attention to.
And that's the main thing I feel even now, man. Like watching New Japan, I'm like, all right, let me watch Ice. Let me get to his match, and then, all right, cool. What else is going on? I guess, I watched the show.
During those Ruthless Aggression times, I was paying attention to whatever Kay was doing, whatever Undertaker was doing, whatever was going on with Randy Orton, and hating and wishing whoever was going up against Evolution or Edge, they would fucking beat them, because I couldn't stand them. They would beat
Evolution and Edge.
Whoever would beat Evolution or Edge, because those two were, well, first it was Evolution, then later on Rated R Superstar Edge.
Are we talking about the version we had Lita, or are we talking about
period?
Okay.
I could not stand Edge. All right.
He was a bit of a tirade, bro. Like
I could not stand that.
He was doing good heel work though. Like as a heel, you had to hate him. He felt like a thug boss, in-game boss, who just kept fucking with you the whole game.
And now that we're actually saying this out loud here, I feel as if that's also another problem.
Being Edge being so dominant?
No. Follow me. When you look at the characters and the people that we had in that and in the Attitude Era, right? And the stuff that they did and all that whatnot, most of those people, a large majority of the people who are promoted for that time frame, they're either still working in WWE or they really don't wrestle anymore. Edge is an extremely important piece to the Ruthless Aggression era, or even the PG era.
Yeah.
All right. Edge is actually Adam Copeland. Copeland works in AEW right now. So does Christian. There's a couple of people who we really can't.
Jericho.
AEW. And Jericho is fucking important to that.
Yeah. God damn. Oh, big
and
show.
Honestly, yeah, AEW. Big Show is
Taz.
extremely important.
Taz. Let me see here. Oh, Goldust. Because he with Booker T. That was a big part of the Ruthless Aggression era. Wow. Whoa.
Now, of course, this is me guessing and assuming. But I feel that those would be problems as to why we can't just do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're willing to be like, hey, now granted, maybe they can still finagle it because
they were still able to put Sting. Well, no, Sting is technically in, I think, a Legends contract with AEW, maybe, but like Sting was in it.
What do you mean? Are you talking about for
Sting is in the Attitude Era game, right? So Sting was a part of the Attitude Era, technically.
Yes, because because they own the WCW stuff.
And technically that means they own Sting. Okay, never mind. Let me shut up.
Yeah, there's like a shared thing.
Well, technically they should be able to still use them because they own the rights to whatever WWE's product is.
But why would they put Edge in one of their games while he is in AEW?
You're correct. I'm just saying if they want to say
a legend like Sting is different, especially since he's ultimately not really wrestling anymore. Sure, he ended his career in AEW, but it's like Sting's not moving the dial for nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, now granted, I've been seeing screen caps, and I don't know how true these screen caps are, but like, cause like I saw like pictures where they showed like Bobby Lashley was in the wrestling game
in the Attitude Era.
Yes,
he wouldn't have been a part of the Attitude Era though.
Exactly.
Unless, well, he wasn't even in the roster.
So, like I said, I've seen some weird screen caps, and I don't know if these are just people like. Because like, have you ever seen the screen cap where it showed like Main Event Mafia?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Maybe what they could have been using was previous, because again, it's 2K who's making it, and they're also keeping all of the archives of a character.
No, you could be right. And I only know that because there's a guy who's on Twitter who I always see him posting shit, and somehow like he just knows how to break the code because they don't take the code out of the game. So it's like
archive stuff. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like he like breaks the code and like for instance in the like what was it? One of the other wrestling games?
Yeah.
When they took Brock Lesnar out.
Or when they took Brock Lesnar out. Yeah, this one or the recent one and put Americano in there. You talking about that?
No, well, not even that. Just the fact like Brock Lesnar was
Scott. Sorry,
like they was going to have Brock Lesnar in the game, and then when all the trial shit started going on, they took him out of the game where you could not play as his character, but his data was still in the game, kind of thing. And so once again, like I've been like. You know, you can't believe shit on the internet no more. But it's like I've seen people like posting like I've seen these pictures like what it was like you see like everyone from Main Event Mafia on the game, and so I'm like I don't know if it makes sense because I don't know if it's true.
It's TNA,
yeah, but they also have the partnership with TNA
now.
Right
yeah.
Well, they had the partnership with TNA while all this. That's why Abyss was on the last game.
I figured that was because.
The partnership with TNA was already going on strong back in that particular time frame. And so, like I said, I don't have the game yet. Granted, I know a lucky son of a bitch who got a game, but I ain't gonna put him on the spot like that right now. Unless they hit me up and be like, yo, guess who got me the game?
Anyway. That is a flex though, bro. That's kind of wild. I wouldn't tell no damn body. I'd be like, oh, damn, shit. I'd be like, yo, when'd you get the game? Oh, I just got it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit of a hater, but hey, you know.
I'd have been like, I bought it, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
But
going back into the.
But I feel that like that could play as I think about it now, especially with the way the landscape is right now. I feel as if that probably is playing a big role as to why ultimately we don't have a, a fucking ruthless aggression era,
Yeah.
because many people who are in the ruthless aggression era are in different
Companies.
companies. Like who else is in, like John Morrison
Is in Mexico right now. He's in no, he's in CMML.
Yes, which by way of AEW, because he's actually an AEW wrestler. Oh, you see the dilemma. MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin.
Ain't no stop. Come on. And then Pope, Pope could be usable, but he's only in like in a small segment.
But that, I think, might play a big role as to why, because with the way that this landscape is, they would have to be, for them to be able, I think it's for them to want to be able to push a thing that was like that, they need to either have these people on the roster
On contract or something.
or they'd have to be on some kind of contract so that they
employed,
aka they have to be able to get WWE money, but because they're getting majority of these people are getting the AEW monies right now, because they're all most of these guys are over in AEW. I feel as if, number one, WWE doesn't want to push no AEW talent,
not one,
and so it's like WWE acts like they don't want any of their wrestlers to be associated with anything related to AEW. That's the reason why Nakamura couldn't go to the final thing.
Yeah, we found it out. Yeah, they don't want any connection
because they didn't want no kind of connection with WWE and goddamn AEW. The rivalry is that thick. Bloods versus Crips in the wrestling game, bro. It's that heavy, and so it's because of that. There are a lot more things that they can do and use with the Attitude Era, because most of those wrestlers are either still employed by WWE.
So Billy Gunn's in AEW.
True, but I also think Billy Gunn is one of those people who can get the buy because he probably has a Triple H stamp of approval. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who kind of can weasel their way by, and it's like, there's a lot more that they could do with the Attitude Era people than otherwise. They can dance around certain things. Sure, Big Show was around in the Attitude Era, but
there's less of a okay, we could take a slap on the wrist for this one, like a Big Show, a Goldust, or a Billy Gunn, because they're like, while they're technically legends, a part of that era, they are not as big.
Yeah, they're not moving the dial on AEW.
Yeah, well, not even that, but like,
sure, that they're not, maybe they may not have been as super big of stars.
Yeah, they weren't like in everything.
But at the same time, though, they are, because like I said, for those who are on AEW, of those people who was from the actual Attitude Era, Big Show and Billy Gunn,
and Goldust.
Big Show, Billy Gunn, and Goldust,
Chris Jericho, sorry.
Jericho, kind of.
He was there. He was 1990, and he won the belt from Triple H.
Okay, but I mean, sure, all right, but
he started there. He became a thing in the Ruthless Era. But continue on.
Yeah, I kind of pay him more towards that Ruthless Aggression spot myself, but
it's valid.
And when we think about Attitude Era, we're talking like core Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? Which is that late 96 to like the end of like
99. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like that 99
early 2000, because technically 2000 was WrestleMania 17, and that's when it actually ended. The day when Stone Cold shook hands with Vince. That is the actual end of the Attitude Era.
Is that what is being considered? Is that the universal?
I mean, you could look it up real quick just to fact check me, because I mean, most people say that because the minute Stone Cold shakes hands with Vince, that was the era was those two. Like, granted, everything else, but like the era of the Attitude was really Vince and Stone Cold. And the minute that happened, I don't think the Attitude Era continued. So 2002.
Well, I guess you must be somewhere in that spot because, according to the Google overlord themselves, they said the Attitude Era officially ended on May 6, 2002. Oh, you know what?
What?
I mean, they do bring up
handshake.
It says some fans consider WrestleMania 17 to be the true ending, but what they consider the ending of the Attitude Era is when we went from WWF to WWE.
Okay, that's kind of valid.
Which I could actually kind of co-sign on.
I truly feel, if I'm gonna be really real, the day that John Cena said ruthless aggression, that was the beginning. I truly feel like, because remember when Vince said the wrestling had an attitude now, that is when it started. And the ruthless aggression era really started when Cena said the word. That's why they made it that era.
I mean, sure, one can say.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily sway either way
Yeah.
in it, kind of thing. I mean, because for all intents and purposes, the one that you're saying, which is apparently what everyone else says, you know, whatever day WrestleMania was in April, May is literally specifically May 6th, aka a month after WrestleMania, is when WWF became WWE. And so there's that.
Technically it's like my statement is not wrong, but in all reality, whenever the F was taken out is when it became the ruthless aggression era. Because granted, the WrestleMania storyline wise ended the Attitude Era. So chronologically, it ended with Stone Cold shaking Vince's hand, but on paper, it was that May. I could see it being that. Definitely could see it. It was like you solidified it here at this pay-per-view. You stamped and notarized it May 6th. that would be kind of the thing there, I feel like. But regardless, you would say that certain key characters of the ruthless aggression era game are either all in different promotions, so therefore it makes it difficult to have them in the game outside of, yes, you have the daunting nature of something like a Chris Benoit present, but what makes it difficult for the ruthless aggression era game to happen is because there's so many factors or so many bumps on the road to make it happen because of wrestlers and where they are.
So, real quick, which is actually interesting, the timeline of all these things, right? So, if that WrestleMania was supposed to be where a lot of people consider the true ending of the Attitude Era, and then literally that month later is when we drop the F and we put and it becomes WWE. Which there's actually, I have a quick funny story about that from when I was a kid. The John Cena's famous ruthless aggression thing that he said. So if we became WWE in May 6th, literally June 27th is when John Cena ruthless aggression. So for all intents and purposes,
stamp notarized May 6th. Stamp notarized June 23rd, June 27th, whatever it was.
So it's like, yeah, it was very quickly when all that kind of just, it all changed literally like month. Within a 3-month area, we transitioned from attitude to ruthless aggression. And the funny story that I have is when this is going on, I was a kid going to the Boys and Girls Club. And I remember we got to make like these, like, I guess like they gave us like these plain white folders that we could do, and we could like draw on them and everything. And I made this super dope folder art of the WWE symbol kind of thing. And me not thinking bad on it, I made it, and at the bottom it says "Get the F out." Because that was the slogan. WWE, get the F out. Because we're getting rid of the
F. Got you in trouble.
Boy, yeah. Well, it got me in trouble because someone was a fucking hater and told on me. And then they pulled me aside, and I'm like, and let me know, I'm like, why am I getting chastised and everything? And then somebody, one of the other people, like one of the other heads, like the seniors there, they were like, they came and backed me up. They're like, no, don't yell at him. He watches wrestling, and they explained, and he even showed them it's a whole. And so then they were like, oh, now they got me all like in my feelings and sad and shit. You know, like I done like committed the worst crime on God's green earth.
You put it like get the out on your folder.
But it literally just says, and it's like and I did like in the cool Attitude Era font and shit, get the letter F out because it's WWE. And so yeah, they made a big fucking deal about it, and I got in trouble, and then they were like, "Oh, I am so sorry. We didn't mean to." At this point, my feelings are already fucking hurt. I'm like sobbing and crying and shit because I'm sensitive, and I'm like, I never get in trouble. I swear I'm a fucking good kid. Like I didn't mean to. You know.
I could see this right now. Oh man,
bro,
that's terrible.
It was crazy, bro. Like it fucked my day because at that point I'm like,
I don't want to play no games.
Like I don't even want to be like I don't even want to fucking be here to begin with. Like fuck the Boys and Girls Club. Like I
just want to go home and play the game.
That's all I wanted to fucking do.
I hated activities after school like that. Granted, I was in court.
This wasn't even after school. This was during the summer.
Oh, so was it the summers I went there?
Yeah, no. Damn. You were still here.
Oh,
we would hang out on the weekends, but because I was enrolled in the Boys and Girls Club,
we couldn't hang out during the weekday.
No, because
that was stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I fucking hated that shit.
Yeah, bro, that was stupid. We could have been hanging out
I'm pretty certain it was the year after that when you ended up leaving for Florida.
Worst time ever, man. Those summers, those years were rough on my life. But man, that's goofy. Regardless, I'm sorry that you had to experience that.
It's okay. It made me a better person. I guess.
It's not bad. It's not worse than when my stepmom forced me to not watch wrestling anymore because I had to use wrestling to defend myself against my stepbrothers, and she didn't like that. So she was like, wrestling is very violent apparently because you keep fighting your brothers. And I was like, because they keep being fucking dicks. You know what I'm saying? Like they were being assholes when we were growing up.
Because I caused the same situation that happened to Kyle. Because I brought Kyle into wrestling, and then once he got super into it like we are,
yeah,
and so he watched it all the time with me, and so he ended up getting his brothers into wrestling. But even though Kyle wasn't necessarily the bigger of his two brothers,
yeah,
he was definitely the strongest.
Okay,
and Kyle constantly got in trouble for beating the shit out of his brother.
Bro, my dad actually wanted to call the police on his child for defending himself against his brothers. That's crazy.
It got so bad to the point where literally Kyle he wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. He wasn't allowed to play the wrestling game anymore,
that was tough for me too.
I was like, no, Kyle, what did you... I think I swear I swear he fucking power bombed one of his brothers one time, and it really hurt him. And it's like, you know how it's like when you do the wrestling move on your friend, they like
it's like you got it from wrestling. You can't watch it no more.
They you know, the fake cry goes to a real cry, and now it's it was a big situation. It was like, damn. And he was like, yeah, no, wrestling is banned in the house. No, we don't watch that shit no more.
Yeah.
Which I was like, damn.
So for
that
a while it was that, and then I couldn't play wrestling games. But wrestling games were the only things I had. So she would be like, all right, cool. I would have to watch how you act after playing these wrestling games. So yeah, like she was like, all right, let me just see where it is. And then so I couldn't watch it again because it was too sexual. Because this is when Sable was around and Sable was doing her stuff. So as you know, stepmom walks in the room, this is too sexual. Oh, come on, bro. Like, and we ain't actually seeing bits. You know what I'm saying? Right now on the internet, kids can see complete tit and also poontang pie. But we just got cleavage. But you can go on the internet and see that shit for free nowadays. And we're not even talking about corn.
Without even having to click to anything crazy.
Yeah, you don't even got to go to corn sites. You can just straight up go to Instagram. Oh, she's wearing a see-through top. And I see for free? Okay.
Listen,
good to know.
Listen, all it takes is to like one or two of the right videos, and you find yourself in
watching it
in the crazy TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself there one time, and it lasts for about a week. It's like once you get into that area,
I remember Cartel
it pushes you
TikTok.
out. Cartel TikTok.
You never heard about Cartel TikTok?
No.
This is the time when they were actually showing videos from like stuff that was happening in the cartel. So like you were getting videos of like shipments and people dying and shit. There was an algorithm that was Cartel TikTok. You should look that shit up,
bro.
It was a wild time.
Algorithms are wild out here in these streets, bro.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, overall, I would say the main. My new theory on the reasons why is because people who are in the ruthless aggression era, or even if you want to call the PG era, you know, those two eras, either a lot of those people are still wrestling and they're wrestling for other companies. And people who are in the wrestling games, I'm pretty certain they get some kind of compensation for showing up in the game.
Yeah, put their likeness in the game.
And if they're going to do that, they're going to try and do it the cheapest way possible so they don't have to pay for fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And so, what is one of the easiest ones to do? The golden era. Why? Because a lot of them don't wrestle anymore.
Or they dead.
Or they're dead. R.I.P. to the best ones.
Yes.
And so it's like, because they don't have to pay the dead.
Well, they do have to pay the families, the likeness of the families.
And even then, they don't really got to pay a whole bunch.
Nope.
Because
they'll take any kind of money.
Especially considering the fact that, you know, there is also that piece that they do just own their names.
Yeah.
Especially of those particular people. But then, like, for the ones who are still alive, yeah, sure, they're going to throw them a little bit of bone. And especially if they were, like, important, like Demolition or
I don't even think
Jimmy
Hogan's
Hart
in the game this year
or anything like. No, of course he is, bro.
Okay. I didn't check.
Oh no, he is on one of the covers, bruv.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because they're also and that's the other reason why I'm like, one of the ways they got their little loophole in there is Paul White wasn't always the Big Show. He used to be the Giant in WCW.
Owns that, and he doesn't have to say nothing to you.
Now, of course, if they wanted to, which I'm sure they probably would, they'd be like, hey, yo, Big Show, you're good for it. We'll slide you a couple of bones.
I think that's also, again, a Triple H thing because those were his boys back in the Attitude Era. So throwing Billy Gunn, a Big Show, possibly a Jericho, a Bone, I don't know their relationship, but definitely trickling down. Some of them, I don't even think.
There's certain people who I'm sure that they, you know, like regardless of where they're at,
went down these roads.
WWE will, you know, because they're like what I wouldn't say grandfathered in, but like, you know, they're very special to.
It's a family.
Yeah.
It's a family.
That, you know, that would be like if they was going to do this, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to put JR in here. Bullshit, you're not.
Yeah,
Like-
that's impossible to say no to that. But he's one of the big reasons why you had to
I'm
watch it. because,
like in this whatever they have in this game,
greatest commentator.
there better be some fucking JR.
Yeah.
So what if JR works for AEW? You cannot give me Attitude Era without JR and the King.
And then here's the thing about it too: they don't even have to actually use them. And because
yeah, they got plenty of sound bites. So
no, it's not even that. You could just literally AI their voices.
Now I don't know if they go and do that.
I'm just saying you could. If you can't, like, say if JR and King are no longer here on this earth, right? You still have the ability to AI their voices and then have them say certain things in the game. We have technology now that, yes, your likeness does not have to be present. We could AI your voice.
Could. Should? I don't think so.
Probably not right
Will?
now. In the future, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely happening at some point.
I'm probably, but that now
It'd be
takes
like
on
2030 maybe.
I don't care
Or 20,
what year it
2030, yeah.
is, but like once we start AIing people's voices into video games, that's when shit gets a little crazy and a little weird for me. But I mean, sure, I guess you could say AI is the future, but
I'm just saying, if you want to keep a JR and like, if they want to do, hypothetically speaking, they do another Attitude Era game and they want to put JR's commentary in the game, but he's no longer with us, right? You still want to have that. Oh my God, it's a slobber knocker. Yes, you could use the audio bits, but I'm just saying, if they want to do small things,
no. Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, say what if they wanted to have JR do commentary for current wrestlers?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We utilize JR while we got him right now, and when he passes, let his voice rest.
Okay.
I don't AI is fun, and I don't mind using it for these cool entertainment purposes. But if I'm in my 80s and I'm watching my great grandkids play, 2K75 and whatnot, and I hear JR talking about, oh, it's LA Knight Junior. No, fuck no, get out of here. It's the resurgence of Kane and Undertaker. Their children. No. Fuck no. Get out of here. Stop it with this bullshit AI stuff. All right. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. No.
I can understand that. Well, I think regardless of if it's the Ruthless Aggression era or any other era, it's the fact that there are so many factors that make it difficult, because the Attitude Era, again, being what it is, you will never get the golden era game. You'll never get a Federation year game. And the Attitude Era is the only era where anybody can pick that up and say, yup, I'll take this. If you had any other choice.
Like of an era?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, because like I mean, for all intents and purposes, there are only two eras that WWE make money off of: the Golden Era or the Attitude Era.
Yep.
Even
do you think also that it maybe in a couple of years from now, maybe like in the next 10, 20 years or something like that, maybe because these wrestlers are still active and still present, and just like how you said the Golden Era, half them is dead, so like we could just use them, no problem. You have to wait till these
maybe like there's a part of me that feels like maybe years down the line, the Ruthless Aggression era might become more of a thing that they can start thinking of wanting to use. But I also don't know. It's kind of hard to say, because like I don't think there's it across all the eras. I don't think there's any lack of star power.
Oh, that's a fact. It's not not that at all.
Like,
It's not that at all.
the people who was white hot throughout this ruthless aggression era, I think are as equally hot with the Attitude Era, but I just think it's just because of the way that the Attitude Era was as a whole and how, because when you also look at these two eras, what makes the Attitude Era so like serious is the fact that the guys who were there, they were fighting for a purpose and a reason.
They had to do it for their jobs, man, or they were
Literally this game that came out, they have the reason why the Attitude Era was so hot, because they was going up against WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally what this game has. You have both sides of the coin that you can see.
And you can't even really say that for the ruthless aggression era, because TNA, while it was a thing, it was not going against WWE.
No, and it couldn't go against WWE. Like, they tried to go up against it, and it almost killed them to try and go up against it. And so, because WWE did not see them as a actual threat kind of thing, it was during those times where it's like, yes, things were actively happening. Eddie Guerrero was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? John Cena was on his rise. Kurt Angle was at his peak. We had American Badass Undertaker. Brock Lesnar was becoming what he was becoming, kind of thing.
Big evil.
We had the most devastating version of Kane who existed during that time.
We had the Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
Like,
wait, wasn't that 21? 2001, excuse me?
I think that was 2001.
Yeah, that was Attitude Era.
But like, so it's like there were things that did exist that were really good, and there was a lot of stars. Batista, Randy Orton, like, these are all people who made their names in the ruthless aggression era kind of thing. But it's like there was always like a small lacking that can't quite encompass the same shine as what the other era has.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons that, because also during the ruthless aggression era, a lot of people who did like to watch wrestling stopped watching wrestling during that time frame.
Yeah, they did, because it just wasn't as hot.
And so, and it's like, when the people who are now coming to watch wrestling, those people have skipped the ruthless aggression and the PG era. And it's like, well, why should we like wrestling? And the people who are here, who's been here through it all, we're all pointing to,
look at the Attitude Era.
And that's why we're at where we're at. Because, like, if we are the quote unquote 40-year-old old heads, who are like who are like the ones who are mainly watching the wrestling, yes, we're buying the game because we love the Attitude Era. When we bring new people to watch wrestling, what do? We show them the Hell in a Cell match in the Attitude Era. We show them Undertaker and Kane from the Attitude Era. We show them DX from the Attitude Era.
You show them the NWO.
We'll show them the NWO. And then we'll show them John Cena.
That is true. And it's normally nobody ever says you got to watch Edge during the ruthless aggression era. Nobody ever says that. Who? I will switch to not Judgment Day, but to New Day immediately with holding the mic like fucking Xavier Woods. Who would ever say, yo, you should watch ruthless aggression era Edge or Randy Orton, to be exact?
And so, honest. So I guess at the end of it, when you really kind of think about it, if people are so mad about people bringing up the Attitude Era all the time, then shit, maybe you should start bringing up the ruthless aggression era.
If you can.
next time you get someone who's all like, oh man, I want to get into wrestling, but like I need something that like, I was like, I'll show you. Let me show you Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar. Do that then.
Which that is a really great fucking storyline. That is a great storyline to show people, especially with the Eddie Guerrero promo. Like that will sell anybody. They're like, damn, I'm here for it.
Like,
but most of the time, if people do say that, and they'll be like, oh, but he was better here.
Man, when was he better?
Attitude. I'm just saying, like something like that. Would you be like, but he was also. So
he
was
more entertaining at that. It's a thing,
especially if you talk about Eddie Guerrero, but like, oh yeah, he lied. Still. So where did lied still came from? So actually, he was Latino Heat, and Latino Heat was with China. You gotta go back to her. So it's like, no matter what, you're gonna get shells of a thing. So how did they get prominent? How did they become who they are? I actually was in the Attitude Era. So yeah. So regardless,
or you just be like, oh, you gotta watch Nitro to see the real Rey Mysterio, the filthy little animal motherfucker.
Yeah, that boy, he was crispy back in the day. he was Dominic Mysterio today.
Listen, people be sleeping on the past Rey Mysterio,
bro. They be showing the video edits, and it was like, no, we see where Dom gets it from.
Yeah, no, it's there. Like, don't let Dominic Mysterio like and then seeing Rey Mysterio, and I was like, no, Rey Mysterio is an old man now. He's got that. He's had the dirty Dom in him.
The Dom is out of he pulled a fucking Genkai and said Spirit Orb, Yusuke. Like he straight just gave him the power, and Dirty Dom became Filthy Animal. Actually, people should probably get that more credit. He's not Eddie Guerrero. He might be Filthy Animal Rey Mysterio.
That's definitely what that he is. He no matter how they want to spin it, he's looking like Eddie Guerrero's kid, but he's fucking Rey Mysterio's child. He's absolutely Rey Mysterio's
Honestly,
child.
it's just that Latino heat. Regardless, it is just that Latino heat. But guys, at the end of the day, we would both love to hear your opinions. Why is something like the Ruthless Aggression Era not made into a game? Why is it always the Attitude Era? And do you guys have an issue with that? Do you want to see more eras have their own specific games? I would love a strictly ECW, but that's just me. That's just me. You really can't do too much with it. But I wish they would also put the ECW. They might put ECW in as a DLC down the road, because it is technically part of the Attitude Era.
They're definitely putting some ECW shit in there this game.
Well,
you showed me the fucking
New Jack was in the last one.
They did put him in the last game,
yeah,
and they did put a lot of ECW stuff in the last one too. Mm-hmm. Now, that video you sent me about the Ragdoll effect shit that they got going on in this game.
Bro, but the fact is the Ragdoll, they don't show any damage when they hit the floor though.
Yeah, that's the only weird piece about it.
It's like just go back to the.
I mean, they still, but with that though, like there's a lot of weapon stuff that they still brought over from the previous game,
yeah,
kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I haven't played it. I've only seen like small bits and pieces and little pictures, and so
can we go back to landing on your neck again? I would like that again. You fall from any height like and then land on your neck. Can we just go back to that? That was a good time.
So.
Especially if you threw a person off the fist into the German, and granted, but in all reality, we know that fall leads to.
It all depends.
Yeah,
I prefer a good ragdoll, and with the videos that I've seen, the problem is the people with the video that you showed me, people aren't being creative enough yet.
No,
they don't. They don't got that wrestling mentality of making it.
I did see one where it was a Dominic Mysterio and Brock Lesnar, and Brock does the German off the ambulance, and he lands on the steel steps, face first.
That was Drew McIntyre who did it.
Nah, that's a new one I saw.
I saw.
It was like a flaming table. And,
I didn't see the flaming table.
Yeah, it was a flaming table he could choose from in the steps. So he would German off the ambulance, and there's one where his face just hits the end of the fucking steps, and it's like, oh, ouch. Like fuck. And then there's one where he I think he does a German or something else and he falls on the flaming table. And then there's one where I think he does another suplex and Dom hits the stairs, but Brock still lands on the flaming table. Like
that all right. Yeah. Like from some of the things I've seen, I'm like, all right, just for the pure foolish stupidity and shenanigans, I might need to get this game.
a lot of people are saying that too.
Like just for that, but like, interesting enough, I haven't heard them say anything about GM mode.
Because that's gonna be it.
Because that's the part that's what I play. Like literally this last one, I shit you not, I have not played not a damn thing in that game but GM mode.
Well, I mean, you could just go online probably. You just check real quick before.
I'll probably check, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal for now.
But
I don't got the money to get it right.
Besides that, guys, again, like I said before, I would love to hear your opinion on what your thoughts about what era would be good for a game, because I think we're both curious, and we're probably going to ask that to anybody who gets on the show as well.
Also, prove me wrong. Like,
yeah,
why should it be another era outside of goddamn the attitude era? Like, why should it be the ruthless aggression?
Yeah. Give us reasons. We would love to hear.
Because not enough are being given.
Not at all. Not at all. But as always, guys, the ring is sacred. The questions are always real, and the destruction is guaranteed. It's your host who likes to post, the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switch in the building.
And from the Big Brothers of Destruction, guys, have a good one. Until next time, see you soon. Peace.